please explain to me why you draw fibs on a different time frames. Sometimes you draw it on the weekly scale, sometimes you draw it on monthly. How do you know how to do it? Okay, so that's a good question. And let me just point a few things out for Fibonacci's for you. Ooh, look at that, it's a sweet W on the monthly scale. Let me point out a few things. Let's just say you're drawing fibs, right? How far, like if you draw it from the past to the future, right? You're trying to figure out where it's going to go up from. So you go from the last swing high. Now, this is correct. So this swing high is correct. Same with the other swing high. Like even the major swing high, which was like 4,500. It's also correct, sort of. But you know, it's just you're never going to get. It's never gonna line up very nicely. Sometimes it does. So this is the best because the shorter time frame is better, right? But this is correct, right? This is the best way to do it. And then when you realize, okay, wait a second, there's an even lower low, right? You go there as well. So you can see right now we might be doing a Hail Mary kind of deal here, but hopefully not. And oops, let me just move my head out of the way. And so that's one way to draw the fib. Now let's just say this is returning back down, right? We want to know whether or not what's the price of it could go. Should it go? Should it break down, right? So you can actually draw the fibs. Let's just say this was the top, right? We don't know if this is the top, but assume that it is. One of the questions is, right? Where do I draw the fibs? Here? Or here? And the answer is they're both right. You're like, what? They're both right because because the Fibonacci levels, right, from this level, right? Let me just get it there. Hang on. Oops. Come on. Okay, there we go. So from this level, all right, means that you're going to retrace based on the move from this low to this high, right? Is it going to retrace? And if it breaks down, right, it becomes invalid, right? That's only when it breaks this low, then it becomes invalid. But it's valid until that happens. So you could say, well, you know what? I'm going to do, I think the market's going to come right back down, spook everybody, Hail Mary it right here, and it's going to roll back higher. Right? That's another thing. That's why I use the fibs, right? But I don't see that happening. You can see that the 50% mark is at the breakout level. It would be interesting if it was at the 61.8 was at the breakout level, but it's not. It's actually at 38.2 actually, because you can see that's the breakout level right there at 38.2. So that's quite an interesting number. If we could hold above the 38.2, we know that we can break higher here. Also, you're like, all right, so this is also correct over here. So yeah, because this is all one move from this move up to here, and it could come all the way back down to retest and spook everybody down here, or stop out everybody. You can see the 61.8 is where all the people get stopped out, right? If they're taking a long off of this breakout. So that's how the fibs work basically. If the SEC wanted to disrupt Bitcoin, what form of ETF would the most be harmful? Can they manipulate and suppress prices? This is why you hear about Gensler saying, going like no to an ETF, but yes to a ETF based on the futures, because that futures has nothing to do with actual Bitcoin, right? You will be exposed to the price, not actually participating in increasing the price of Bitcoin, and that's one way to manipulate it. Another way with an ETF is to, of course, the way they do gold and silver, is they write the perspectives in such a way is that they have custodials that they're not responsible of. Custodials report what they have But if they don't have the gold and silver, that's not their problem.
And it's gone.
And there's no repercussion, right, if the custodial does not have the gold or silver. So what do you think is going to happen, right, if there's no repercussions should the custodial not have the gold and silver? You think about that for a second. I'm trying to think if there would be a premium. There will be premiums in certain places, of course, always with when we have price controls, that happens. So you will see that, and when you see countries banning it, there will be obviously a premium on the street for Bitcoin. But will it be a premium in a jurisdiction where you can actually have some sort of free trade? Only if, you know what, honestly, only if they make it difficult for money to move out. Cash, I mean, not cash, not money, but currency to move in and out of the country. And if they do, and they will probably, if we are in a hyperinflationary event, money will be difficult to move. So you will see a premium during hyperinflation in certain countries in that event, but not caused by manipulation per se, but mostly because of, well, I mean, it is manipulative to say, okay, we're not letting you send money or receive money into this country. Maybe we'll let you receive but not send it, or something like that. If that happens, right, yes, then you'll have premiums in certain countries. So we'll probably see that during that hyperinflationary event around the world, because we're going to have one eventually.